Hello, 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 and welcome to the next installation of our Week 1 in PMALCS. Tonight's match featuring Roll versus Boom. An incredible game coming up for you tonight, and we are excited to bring it your way. I am Diamondback, and with me is Jushbox, here to bring you all the action from this Week 1 thriller. The beginning of a triple header, really, to cap our week. Exciting matchups in the jungle. Obviously, El Shaka, or David, as we all know and love him, and Sarah Cruz going at it. Pretty carry oriented junglers who like to get after the game. Excited to see that matchup. A thriller in top, and obviously the bot lanes going at it. And in mid, my boy Egg Boy, gotta put some love on Egg Boy. But anyways, Josh, what are you looking forward to in this matchup tonight?
I think with the first week of matches, with this being the first week of matches still, I think the main thing to look forward to is early season synergy and seeing how these players are able to work together without having a lot of prior experience, only about a week and a half of prior experience play, or actually at this point 2 weeks of time to play with each other in these 5 settings. And because people are busy and it's just amateur for fun league, different teams are able to practice at different levels or at different amounts. I know that there's some players on this Boom team that like to play together a lot, and I know there's some players on Roll that play together somewhat outside of this game, outside of like these matches. So looking forward to see how those synergies and the synergies we haven't been able to see before are going to match up in this first match of the season.
Yeah, so as we're getting into this game, I want to talk about a little bit about early game. And the reason I say that is because of the 2 junglers that we have facing off. I think it's the headline of this matchup. I think you've got to look at it, these 2 guys to affect their game or to affect the game as much as possible. What do you think they have to do early to get snowballing? Obviously, we see Sarah Cruz play champs like Viego. We've seen David play Asheko. Very early game stuff. And, I believe we are starting pick ban, so I'm going to slide on over into this. But anyways, Josh, talk to us a little bit as we go through pick ban. We're seeing the Viego ban come out right here. What do you see as the key to early game?
I think the key to early game is getting a strong, aggressive jungler that's going to be able to make moves on the map. Both of these junglers are very high skill players that like to play aggressively and aren't afraid to get in the face of other people. And of their opposing laners. So I think we're definitely going to see some sort of early game jungle coming out from both of these teams that's going to be able to apply pressure in the side lanes early off to get one of the high opportunity carry players in Mammoth, Coach Eggboy Gucci, or in Zepho, Garfield Juice, and Squints in order to really take over this game. All 6 of those players have the ability to take over a game and single-handedly carry it, as well as have the members around them to help support that carry potential. As we get into these bans, we have Viego, Katarina, and Nautilus being taken away from Team Dinner Roll, and we have Shaco, Shen, and Graves taken away from Boom. What up? It's your boy, Solar Nectar.
I really am interested to see how these bans go. This is not how. So obviously, I coach. If that's even the right word to use. Boom. What up? I think both sides are making some interesting choices with their bans here. Shen is obviously not something we were expecting. On that side, I wouldn't have expected a Shen ban. But I also, the Nautilus ban on this side is another interesting ban as well. Obviously, targeting No Not November in the bot lane. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. Akshan coming out. Probably going to go to Egg Boy. I would assume that's going to Egg Boy. He is premier when it comes to that champion. I would say that the Zyra Varus pick is a very, very strong pick on that side. Those two work very well together, ranged, bullying, and the Kench coming through for Grant there. What are you thinking about this early draft so far, Josh?
I think that the teams are saying these are the characters we want to play, and we don't really care what you're playing. We see the Tom Kench lock in with absolutely no regard to what was picked on the red side. Akshan, like 95% likely going to be going on to Coach Eggboy in the mid lane, having multiple pop-off performances on that pick in the combines before we had our draft. And then Zyra Varus. Zyra could be going in the mid lane for Garfield Juice, but it's also a very strong support right now, one of the top supports. And with the high range, high poke, high capability that champion has, it synergizes very well with Varus. You're able to play a very safe, very careful lane, with the Silas being picked to round out that composition. An interesting pick because the Akshan and the Tom Kench alts aren't exactly the abilities you want to be stealing. The Ashe alt, which was picked up for Boomwell in their third pick, is a very good alt to steal, but we will see how Boomwell reacts to those picks. The Ashe, a good pick into the Zyra Varus because you're able to stay far back, fire those volleys at a distance, apply poke, farm safely without getting too close to getting bursted down by the Zyra and Varus.
Yeah, I really like what the combo on Boom What Up is trying to do right now. I also really like Roll. What's tough for me looking at this situation with this matchup right now is I kind of like them both, and I'm not really sure who has the edge at least through these first three picks. We see the Trundle ban coming out here, something the Syracuse has been playing profusely. I
also want to say really quick that the missed ban by Dinner Roll is Kindred. The client bugged for them, and the champion did not go through.
So there's a Kindred ban on that side, and Trundle ban coming out for Boom What Up, a champ that Syracuse has played quite a bit recently. So I think it's a very solid ban there, having not seen your jungler. Nidalee is a great pick. On the other side for Roll, clearly doing the research, knowing that David plays that champion at an incredibly proficient level. And also something else that we need to talk about, Gunji subbing in today for Boom. How does that affect them as a team? Have they gotten opportunities to play with them? And so what does that communication look like in the bot lane with Blue 17 and Gunji? A little hot take, and I can say it because I was there. Gunji knocked me and Kenta out of the playoffs last year. So this is a bot lane that we are all too familiar with. Leona pick coming out here. Always a solid pick at support. And that is likely going to Not November. Very good pivot from the Nautilus. I think they do similar things when you take away a Not champ in the first ban phase.
It does indeed, and we also see that also means that the Zyra is going to be going mid for Garfield Juice, a champion that he does like to play, which we knew before but weren't 100% where it's going to be going. We now know that the Zyra is most likely going to be going against the Akshan in the mid lane, as the Elise is picked up after, 7 jungle bans were taken off the table between the two teams. Definitely putting a high priority on both the junglers on these two teams as two very high skill, very high ability players in Syracuse and El Shaco who have carry potential and to have supportive play potential, as we see the Elise and Lulu rounding out Boom What Up's comp.
I am interested to see how this comp works for Boom What Up. I'm a little nervous about the lack of a second tank. Obviously, Roll is matching that, so it becomes less of an issue. If this is more than just a Fiddlesticks hover, I think it'll be interesting to see how these comps work out. I love the Elise pick. It is something that David is incredibly consistent on. I love the Amumu pick here. That champ, especially since the rework, has been terrorizing the Rift. I really, really like these comps. If I'm a captain of either one of these teams, I'm super, super happy with how this turned out. And we'll see how it sort of translates into the game. Josh, what do you think the keys are looking at these two comps to a win for both sides?
I think that Boom needs to survive this early game and be able to put pressure on the map outside of this bot lane. the Zyra Varus is going to be, or this Varus Leona is going to be a hard lane to gank, especially with a Ashe Lulu not having any hard CC other than hard engage CC other than the Ashe ult at level 6. And if you're firing that from in the lane, the stun duration is not going to be that long, since the stun duration does go up based on the distance the enchanted crystal arrow travels. And Leona being able to provide a lot of peel and support for Varus in that situation from only an Elise gank unless they can burst down the Varus. So I would like to see a lot of pressure going onto mid, onto the Zyra from Boom What Up, a immobile mage who has good burst damage, who is difficult to deal with because of the range advantages with the long range E, the root, as well as the plants that pop up and are very annoying. Zyra right now is like my permaban in rank because I don't like playing against that champion, and it counters many of my champions in the support role. So I would like to see Boom put a lot of focus and a lot of pressure onto this middle lane, especially because, again, in the top lane, Tom Kench versus what is likely going to be Silas, looking at these team combinations, is not the kind of lane that you're going to want to be ganking. For dinner roll, I want to see them do the opposite, and I want to see this Amumu spam gank bot lane. Lulu Ashe has really good peel potential, has really good kite potential, but if Leona or if Amumu can get on top of either of those two characters, they don't do a whole lot of damage, especially early in the game. And if you put Lulu behind it early in this game, Lulu's never going to be able to match up to the side of dinner roll, and that annoying shielding and healing and polymorphing and slowing that Lulu can provide if behind is nullified significantly with just a 1 or 2 death deficit. So those are where I'd like to see the aggression from these two junglers specifically go, and I think these two junglers are also the two that we're going to have to watch the most during this game.
Absolutely, I agree. Like we said in our brief pre-show, jungle is a massive matchup in this game, and I'm gonna sort of start with my own little predictions here. We've got a prediction up in chat, so if you are with us in chat right now, drop your predictions, bet those channel points. The casino is open, but let's do our predictions here. I'll go first. Give you another chance to rest for a second. I'm gonna have to say this one's going to be really, really close, but I like what Roll's comp can do as the game goes on. I'm a huge fan of the Varus selection. I have the utmost faith in Boom to potentially come through with a snatch here. But this isn't a comp that I've seen them play in practices. I haven't seen this because, truthfully, we were living off the assumption that half of these champions were going to be banned. So this is a new experience for them as well as it is for me. So I'm going to give the early edge to Roll here because I just think easier to execute comps earlier in the season are better as you're working on your communication. So yeah, my prediction here is Roll to take this one.
I definitely agree. I think Roll has the draft advantage in this game specifically. Their champions synergize a little bit better together with similar goals, good range, good poke, and a lot of good hard CC, which is kind of lacking on the side of Boom. And in these team fight situations, an Amumu ult coupled with a Leona ult coupled with a Zyra ult coupled with a Varus ult coupled with whatever of these ultimates Silas is able to steal, the Ashe ult and the Lulu ult probably being the two highest priorities for Silas, then it just is a lot of agency that this red side for dinner roll is going to have. And I think more consistent damage as well and more varied damage. Zyra does so much damage, and I expect to see an on-hit Varus as opposed to a Lethality Varus this game because of the Tom Kench pick, and I'm going to assume this Elise is probably going to go AP because of the lack of AP damage with the double marksman, but I would like to see an on-hit Varus this game with the lockdown that Leona is going to have. It gives some protection to that closer ranged ADC when Varus goes on-hit as opposed to Lethality. Range build, plus with the Amumu there as well, but you can't cut out this Akshan. You can't cut out Akshan. We can definitely see Akshan, with the agency and support of the Lulu, the Tom Kench, the Ashe, and the Elise, with the slows, the shielding, the healing, and the light CC, Akshan could pop off.
Yeah, I see potential for a fiesta. I'm gonna say it. There's potential for a fiesta here. Something that I was just kind of thinking about as I like stared at this screen blankly, trying to figure out other points of this game that intrigue me. It's the top matchup. Is Garfield used? Because I don't know if they intended to not line up in order. Knowing Fred, I would assume that this is how they lined up, which would imply that Zepho's going top on Zyra into Kench, and Silas is going mid into Akshan. If that's the case, that is a swap from what we would have predicted. It'll be interesting to see how the Zyra plays into the Kench. Kench obviously loving to skirmish, but Zyra able to keep her distance. Silas can hard engage when, particularly, I mean, he's not as strong as he can be early, but he does have a good early skirmish, in my opinion, which is great into Akshan. So it'll be interesting to see how those matchups play out. I think a lot of this rides on the Tom Kench Lulu combo. Because once you get out of early game, Elise is going to be a different piece of the puzzle. Not going to be as strong, not going to be able to affect as much. So it depends a lot on how, obviously, Akshan scales, how well. It's the first time we're seeing it in PMALCS, so we have no idea how this champion interacts in LCS. And can the Lulu and Kench be enough to keep Akshan and Ashe safe during these fights? It'll be an interesting challenge, and I am excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely be an interesting match for sure. Excited to see how this one goes for both of these teams as we are getting ready to get onto the Rift here in about 10 seconds. Any final thoughts before this game starts?
I hope this is a fiesta. The games so far have been fun to watch. They've been excellent and full of surprises. I expect nothing less from this one as well. These are two fiercely competitive teams. Fred making his debut as a captain. Best of luck there. I believe Grant's been a captain before. Not sure. I should know that, considering I talk to him every day. But
I think
best of luck to these guys.
Grant has been, I know he's been a captain, like, replacement, kind of. Like, he was asked to be a captain for the team he wasn't initially captain on because of something. I don't know the situation. But I don't know if he started this season as a captain.
Well, regardless,
I also should know because I'd love to.
Best of luck to both of them. Excited to see how this one goes.
Talk about this skin game really quick. We see 3 prestige skins coming out with the Battle Academia Leona Prestige Edition, the Space Group Lulu Prestige Edition, both for the 2 supports in this game, and the Coven Zyra Prestige Edition with the cleanse.
I think, though, by cost alone, Boom wins. I think because League of Legends is a pay-to-win game, I think Boom What Up wins this game now. I'm going to have to change my prediction, go back on my previous statement. Also, just that Tom Kench skin. Ugh.
Yeah, no, it's a good Ken. It's a good skin.
All right, let's do the 10-second pause. It's a tradition. It's an art. Nothing new here in PMALCS. You guys know what's coming.
You know what's up. It's your boy.
Skinny. Wait. Nope. Not the right place for that. This is a family show.
This is a family show.
Why are we still at 0? Ah, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
All you had to do is agitate League, and then they know.
Boom, what up?
We see the Boom What Up coming up in chat. All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
We see some pings start to come out for this early game. Both teams having some invade potential, as we see the red side look like they're going to go for an early game invade, which was not going to be spotted by the blue team. Early aggression coming out from Dinner Roll as they are going to walk towards the red side jungle. Nice volley coming out of Ashe. A ward going down for both teams. On one on the red buff, one on the chickens for Dinner Roll, and then a defensive ward inside of the red buff to see if they're going to stick around for Boom, as red as Dinner Roll is going to walk out.
I like this early start from them. I like that move. I always have enjoyed the mid lane invade angle there. A very, very good move. Spooked has yelled at me many a times for not doing that properly. I love that angle, love that look, and a little aggressive from them early, which I like. Leona obviously stepping down into this bush here. Unsure if Gunji knows that Nona is there, but it is a great place to be when you're a bot lane, meaning they're going to start top side with the Amumu and Silas. A change of pace from what we traditionally see from Syracuse. I often see him, looking for those 3 camp ganks, so it'll be an interesting start there.
We're going to get spotted out because of that ward in the top side, I believe ward in the top side jungle. So they are going to know what Syracuse early game pathing is, despite the bush cheese coming out of Squints and No Not November. A good early attempt at aggression there. I think also this level 1 invade, we do see the importance of the junglers in this game and the priority that we saw in the draft as well with the multiple jungle champion bans on these jungle characters and on these jungle players, with early necessity in figuring out what the movements of these junglers are going to be, pathing towards opposite sides of the map.
We're seeing a bit of a trade up here in top. Mammoth is fully engaging onto the Silas. Tom Kench, an incredible champion early in the game, and he is going to take Silas very, very low, taking early control of that lane.
Almost getting a kill on Silas at the beginning of this game for sure. We are seeing the Silas versus Kench matchup, and then the Zyra versus Akshan matchup, which was one of the 2 options that we talked about before. As we see Elise now starting to move towards the top side, pinging that she is going to go in.
Yeah, so Elise is an incredible diving champ early in the game. I'll be interested to see how this goes. A huge wave stacking for Mammoth. El Shaka looking down there. It looks like they're going to go for this immediately. Hard to get a cocoon, though, because of the way the wave is. They get the cocoon, though. They engage. First blood goes down to Elise. That is massive. Doesn't even have to repel to get out of there. An incredible dive. Well executed. And that is going to be first blood onto the side of Boom. What up?
Did play. The only criticism that I would have of that play is
quickly Silas TPing back in, though. E2 going down, but El Shacha is still there. Mammoth is going to take a tower shot, and the aggro is going to swap back over, likely forcing both of them back to base. But an opportunity maybe missed there to pick up a second kill on Garfield Juice on the TP.
Pretty good look. I like the aggression. I like the idea. Close execution, but this is also going to allow Syracuse the opportunity to walk into this bottom side jungle, though he is spotted by the ward into the jungle entrance. He will take the chickens, the wraiths, as Elise is moving over, looking to possibly try and contest these wraiths since the side of Boom does know that Elise is there, as Aksha is also collapsing. We'll see if anything comes from this. It looks like they're just going to walk out.
Yeah, so yesterday, obviously, you casted last night's game between TWL and TSM, and one of the things that we talked about, both during the game and after, we're quickly seeing an engage here from Syracuse, so Q onto the Akshan. Coach Eggboy is going low. TP coming in from top lane, Tom Kench. Akshan's going to go down. Syracuse walking away, but he's cocooned by El Shacha. El Shacha is going to fully engage here. The repel, but it's not going to be enough to get Syracuse. Syracuse's flash coming out there, and that is going to be a clean first kill for Roll. Incredibly played there. Akshan caught out just a little too far away from his turret there, and Syracuse makes him pay with a good bandage toss.
And that's the danger of this Zyra. Incredibly high range, incredibly high damage, especially in this early game with the plants as well. Good TP from Mammoth to try and make a play. Syracuse is able to just barely get out, but Mammoth is able to get back up into the top lane without losing too many without losing too many minions, catching the wave under turret. Going to be stuck there for a moment, but did take a reset earlier. Going to have a lot of gold here, and we'll see how they continue to play this lane.
So we talked about jungle matchups, and yesterday, I had the privilege of streaming your first cast. Oh, but we've seen engage in bot lane. No time to speak here. The Zenith Blade is going to come through on Gunji. So is Ignite. No Not is continuing to push forward, but there's just not enough damage in those champions to get that kill right now. One of the things we talked about yesterday was vision in the enemy team's jungle, and at times that cost both teams yesterday in last night's matchup. And we saw Syracuse taking advantage of a lack of vision on the bot side jungle there. Do you think that's something that we're going to continue to see from these junglers, or do you think they've had their fun early and they're going to back off of that now?
knowing both Syracuse and El Shaka, I think we are going to continue to see a lot of that aggression, a lot of that invading, and a lot of unconventional gank angles. Both of these players are very, very aggressive, know the jungle matchups well and the characters well, and know how to read positioning of their enemies in order to take advantages where they can. Especially Syracuse, a very high skill jungle player, good at abusing the mistakes of his opponents. And El Shaka is not the kind of player that makes a lot, but definitely is capable of misstepping slightly.
So, just checking across the board right now, slight CS lead on the side of Roll. I don't think it's enough for it to be significant, but a small gold gap for Roll right now. And as this team continues to sort of grow into its game, that is something I think is strong for them. I think Varus gets better later in the game. Obviously, you're trying to keep Akshan from getting to those spikes before you. So I think this is a good way. I saw that comp and I thought to myself that they need to play this slowly and make plays where there are plays rather than force things. And I think they're doing that so far.
I would agree. I think they're doing that so far as well. As we see Varus start to go aggressive at the top lane. I also want to talk about this Varus for a second. We do see the Hail of Blades mastery coming out of Varus, which gives the impression that we are going to see the on-hit Varus we talked about a little bit in the pregame. Though we do see the tier, I'm not super well versed on my AD build paths, and I think the Manamune is the mirror mana when it's fully charged up is a component of that on-hit Varus build.
Manamune, I believe the build is Manamune and Duskblade, which is I think where he's headed with this.
I know Duskblade is the lethality build when you're going for the poke.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the.
I've seen
know if it's the save for on hit. I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen the Hail of Blades.
I think it works.
Yeah, I think Hail of Blades is used for both builds. So it's just a question of what that next item is. If it's a serrated Dirk, but we're seeing an engage there in bot lane. Lulu is using picks quite well. Forces a flash out of No Not November as this wave continues to crash into the turret. Managing that well. I do believe that the Hail of Blades is used in the lethality build as well. And we're seeing Blue Flames in chat say that just as well. I memed last night after those games and played some drunken ADC solo queue, so I vaguely recall seeing that yesterday. But we'll see with this next item on the next Varus back.
Normally, I've been seeing the whatchamacallit, the
Harvest?
Dark Harvest
Yeah.
for the lethality, but I can see how the Hail of Blades works too.
I wish there wasn't already a casino open. We could take a bet on it.
What?
I wish the casino wasn't already open. We could do another bet on it.
Do a bet on it. This is true. We could.
Syracuse coming in here in the bot side, looking for maybe an alcove gamer move here. Don't underestimate the length of that bandage toss, as well with the double charge, and Syracuse almost with flash, so could do something a little creative down here. The wave is neutral right now. Syracuse may be backing, but there's a Zenith Blade from No Not November. Here comes the Q. Varus ulti goes down the flash, and that's going to be a miss. They're going to expend a lot bot lane, but they do get the flash out of Blue 17 on Lulu. Jungler is not in sight, but El Shacha may be on Rift Herald here, looking to get something for that engage bot.
You definitely think that's a worth play from the side of Dinner Roll. You burn the Lulu Flash, which is a immobile champion for you burn the Lulu Flash of that immobile champion for the Jungle Flash, which is worth it. You expend the Varus ult as well, but that pressure and that priority in the bot lane does allow you to take this first dragon. So we will see Dinner Roll getting the first dragon of the game, this Water Drake, as El Shaka is going to pick up the Rift Herald.
Great. I mean, in my opinion, great macro there on the part of Roll. To understand that they didn't see the jungler respond bot side. They didn't see the jungler appear in top lane, likely understanding that he is going to be on that Rift Herald. And so knowing that it was safe for them to push that lane in and take that dragon. But also smart play from El Shacha. We're talking about this jungle matchup. It's been fairly balanced so far. They're matching each other.
Smart play from El Shacha, but he didn't pick up the eye.
Oh, no.
The eye despawned.
Rest in pepperonis to that, then.
So,
Can I get some F's in chat, please?
Get some F's in chat for our boy El Shaka being spotted out on this gank because of the good ward coverage from Garfield Juice. Oof, that's a rough.
That's a big sad right there. That's a really big sad.
It is a really big sad. Just the kind of things that unfortunately sometimes happen. A little bit of unawareness. You think
They're stopping the back there though. Ulti coming down from Ashe there. Continuing to push towards No Not November. Gunji moves forward, gets the ulti from Lulu. Going to continue with these volleys. Likely going to take him down. No flash on No Not, and that is going to be the kill. Going over to Gunji, our second kill of the game, putting some more gold in bot lane's pocket and giving them an opportunity to catch up in CS. Pushing Boom up in gold just a little more.
Yeah, pushing Boom up, giving them now an 800 gold lead. They had a very slight gold lead before that, but now this is the first real gold lead of the game.
Syracuse coming in on the backside with a great bandage toss. Zyra ulti comes down, flash out of Akshan. Another bandage toss in from Syracuse. Not going to be enough to get him down, but certainly takes him low and forces it back, I would think. But Akshan still maintaining lane. Ashe and Lulu walking up to clear vision. Elise backing here, so Akshan is all by himself. Care for that. But Syracuse is walking over wards. And that will likely stop any more engagement in mid lane.
Very good cleanse from Coach Eggboy. Super important that you cleanse the first bit of CC that you encounter, especially because afterwards you get a reduced, all other CC is reduced a little bit afterwards. So the cleanse of the initial bandage toss coupled with the flash out is going to mean that he is able to escape the combined Zyra and Amumu ultimate roots and stuns and all of that massive CC lockdown. So good for Coach Eggboy to get out of that.
This has been a
possibly deadly situation.
Yeah, this has been a great game to watch so far. I think for those of you, I'd equate it to a really good defensive baseball game, right? You know, for those of us that love the sport of baseball, we like to see a good pitcher's duel every once in a while, and this is what this feels like. Engage going in here in bot, though. Lulu ulti coming down onto the Lulu herself. El Chacho is going low. He's chasing Squints as far as he can. Damage going down. There's a flash out from El Chacho. Gunji has slain Squints on the Ashe. There comes the Zenith Wave from No Not, but is No Not going to have enough damage? Lulu shield going down on El Chacho, and the damage continues to go in, and the double kill for Gunji. Gunji is strong. Gunji is 3-0, and we're seeing the carries start to get gold. Mammoth getting engaged on in top lane by Syracuse. A missed bandage toss and a lovely flash. E2 comes in and misses from Garfield Juice, and that is going to be a scuffed gank in top lane there onto the Tahm Kench. A lot going down on bot side and a lot going towards Boom What Up, and not so much in return on the top side for Dinner Rule.
I kind of wish that Mammoth had tanked that the stun from Garfield Juice. He'd already taken one tower shot, and I think 2 more tower shots would have killed him if he had jumped in, and Mammoth would have been able to survive that long. For sure. I think. So that would have been definitely made it for a spicy play up at the top lane. But good play by the blue side, by Boom What Up in that bot lane, getting the aggression from El Shaka. As now we see more aggression from El Shaka.
Engage is coming down. Every ulti under the sun. There goes Zepho's ulti right there, and they're going to kill El Chacha in the jungle there. Likely looking for vision, trying to prep for this dragon, but nothing there to support him as the bot lane roamed up.
Yeah, that's the issue with not having priority. Good aggressive play, but not a good timing for the aggressive play. No priority with your bot lane being backed, and the Zyra having pushed the Akshan in. There was no support available for El Shaka. He was able to limit the amount of assists that went down for that kill, with only Varus getting an assist for that kill by jumping onto the Zyra. Though Zyra is not the character you want to have these kills early in the game.
Now, interesting thing here as well to sort of, I want to pose a question to you. Anathema's Chains coming in on Tahm Kench. I don't play Tahm Kench. I don't really know anything about that champion. Grant is the unmute the newt king. But I think it's an interesting first buy, foregoing Mythic for that, especially when there isn't really a carry on the other team yet who is strong. What are your thoughts on that as we see them sort of prepare for this dragon fight?
I think it's a good buy, especially seeing how strong this Zyra is already.
Here comes the bandage toss from Amumu. Lulu ulti coming down on Lulu, but this is going to be too much of a pick. Varus ulti is going to miss the entire team. El Shacho getting dove by Garfield on the backside. E2 is going to land, and there's going to be the Everfrost, but it's not going to do anything. El Shacho is up in the air, and he's going to come back down, barely escaping. Engage from Mammoth on the Garfield juice on this far side. Oh, and the deep Q from Squint. Another bandage toss from Syracuse is going to come in, and they're going to kill Mammoth on the back end of this fight. Gunji is trying to cut his way out. 5 stay up for dinner roll, and the rest of them fall. 3 going down for the side of Boom What Up, and this dragon should be fairly uncontested for dinner roll.
That's the power of the hard CC that we talked about before this game started. Thank you, Fudgy Ditters, for your subscription to the PMALCS. We appreciate it greatly. But that's the hard CC we were talking about before. They were able to maintain early vision of this dragon so that they were able to set up that death bush, jump onto Boom What Up, destroy Lulu before Lulu is able to get off any abilities, or many abilities with the hard CC. Good attempted disengage, but without a real opportunity to get back into the fight. They were just separated and then taken down one by one. Thank you, Olive Purple, for your subscription to the PMALCS as well.
Yeah, I'm looking back at that fight and thinking to myself, you know, I said a little bit at the beginning of the game, I'm not sure how this comp works on Boom What Up side. And I think that's an example of that. Obviously, your Ashe is on the other side of the pit there. Not easy to peel when you have the one tank and the Lulu getting picked early, but there was a missed Varus ulti, and there's opportunities to take that fight back. Is this one of those situations where you're looking at a team comp, or if you're looking at the way that fight was played, where do you improve the next time around? Where do you get the identity of this team comp?
I think you get it around this auction. Also, thank you, Bicer, for your...
Varus ulti coming down, all sorts of abilities going in there as well, and we'll get back to Bicer in just a moment, but an incredible pick there from Syracuse and Squint, using a lot to take them down, but well worth it. And that is the end of El Shacha right there. So far, you've got to say that Syracuse is winning the jungle matchup at the moment.
Syracuse is playing very good on this movie with the recent change of the double bandage toss. Now having their Herald and placing that as well, a lot of damage going to go down in this mid lane. Possibly the first, second, and inhibitor turret's going to be taken down, depending on how aggressive they want to be. I definitely think they should take at least the inhibitor turret down, though they should not take the inhibitor itself in this situation, because it'll just funnel a lot of gold and XP into the side of Boom What Up. I like how they're making this play right now. And Syracuse is going to jump in again.
More engage here. Garfield juice on the backside. Remember, he has Everfrost up. Syracuse going in with him. There comes the Everfrost. He's going to try and kite back. Opportunity to maybe get a trade kill back. Tom Kench is going to go all the way. He's going to get a stun on No Not November. No Not November has no mana. Nothing he's going to do. He's just going to let the team run him down and get the kill there. A little bit of a return, a little bit of payback there. The continued chase, though, from Akshan. Interesting to see if he's going to be able to reach this. Obviously, a new thing we're seeing. And he is going to use that repel, but he's going to have to flash back out. Varus ulti comes down, lands on to Mammoth, but Mammoth is a tanky boy. Not going to be able to do much to him there as he gets his gray health back, and they're going to walk their way out, just taking the kill.
Another good play by the side of Dinner Roll. I think they were able to get 3 turrets, expanding their gold lead only up by about 1.5k, but 20 minutes in, and this what's been a very close game so far. This is the biggest gold differential we've seen yet. Going back a few minutes, we had a lot of skirmishing that just went on to what the side of Boom What Up's identity needs to be. Their identity needs to be around this Akshan. Akshan, not the strongest early game champion, not having the best base stats, incredibly reliant on these item power spikes and item advantages that he can get. We do see one completed item and the completed boots. If the Akshan is able to keep farming up and get more items, we can see that character be very effective. And the Ashe is also very strong, having an item and a half completed herself, 4-0 with a 300 gold bounty over her head, and the highest number of CS in the game out of everybody. Those two characters are going to be able to, once they get a few more items and a little more agency and support, be able to carry this game if the rest of Boom What Up can kite, peel around them, and provide the agency and support they need. As we see Blue 17 getting caught out.
again, before I can even get the play-by-play out, this is what this comp has been executing. Picks left, right, and center. Mammoth getting engaged on here by Garfield chooses his team close enough to engage there. Nothing's going to come of it, a flash out from Mammoth, but we have seen this repeatedly. The blue Boom What Up is trying to step up and put vision into these critical areas. We saw it at the jungle fight. We're seeing it here in front of this Baron that is now getting contested at 20 minutes. And there's just a piece going down too early in these fights. One thing, the Lulu on the Dragon side there, I don't even remember who that was picked up on a second ago. Syracuse aggressively trying to zone off. They've come off the Baron here. But the picks have been incredible so far for Dinner Roll. Angle here, maybe a flash from Syracuse. He's going to miss the bandage toss, but he's going to throw the ulti down. Fight's going down. Varus is loading Qs in there, loading on hit. Squints is going to take down Mammoth on his way, trying to kite back. Syracuse is going to continue forward, a man on a mission. He has his W down, and he is going to get taken down by El Shachu. Not able to kite back far enough. Lulu is going to go down as well, but here comes a Varus ulti, held through this entire fight. Gunji is kiting as much as he can, but Kingslayer comes in from Garfield Juice. Is he going to be able to get another kill onto him maybe? And there goes Silas from the backside. El Shachu going down on the front. Varus is going to continue his onslaught. Incredibly strong fight there from Dinner Roll. The two of them are going to push for the inhibitor possibly here, and maybe even for some turrets. Varus is moving over to the dragon, so he is going to put priority on this third dragon, putting them on soul point. And Dinner Roll executing that fight again. Ash caught on the wrong side of this fight, and that's your strongest piece. So if you're not getting as much damage there, that's going to be a problem for you. Thoughts there, Josh?
I think very good play, very high aggression, which is what we expected to see from this side of Dinner Roll. Very high aggressive, very much wanting to get in the face of Boom What Up as they're trying to rotate over. When you're behind, it's the gold lead has extended to about 2.5k now, so it's not as close. Still definitely maintainable for the side of Boom What Up with a lot of standing gold, with all the turrets still being up on the map. If they're able to get those down, they can relieve some pressure and pick up some upstanding gold. But when you don't have priority anywhere, you don't have vision set up, it's incredibly dangerous, especially as a squishy Lulu, to try and walk around and make plays and get vision set up on the map. Even if you're accompanied by one player like he was there, just got locked down beginning of that fight and allowed for Dinner Roll to play aggressive and make that play they just made.
I mean, also, let's talk about vision here. Obviously, the blue side has vision on the bot side of the map here. There's nothing up here. It is going to be very, very hard for them, especially the way that Dinner Roll has been playing, to walk through this jungle. In their minds, Syracuse could be in any bush waiting to throw a bandage shot. Silas is here on the flank, though. Remember, he has the Everfrost, which is an incredible utility as well. Here's going to be a little bit of an engage here. Mammoth, Zenith Blade going through to the backside. Leona's going to be able to get onto Blue 17 on the backside. Ulti comes down. Red team has taken the Baron Nashor. Blue is just going down. Blue side is going down with damage here. Oshash is trying to get his way out. Flashes. Zenith Blade lands from No Not November. That's going to take down Egg Boy. And another just a massacre around an objective here for Dinner Roll. It is a wonder that Boom What Up is able to get kills back in any of these fights at this point. But truly just the damage is showing out from Dinner Roll.
Yeah, they're really just running away with this game. At this point, they have a large enough gold lead. The CC being insurmountable, despite having 2 cleanses on the side of Boom What Up, as it looks like Dinner Roll is going to take this for game 1, possibly.
Not yet. No Not November. Zenith blading onto El Shachu, but he's going to have to kite his way back out of this. Mammoth is trying to go full board here, get something back for this fight. El Shachu is going to kill with the Hex there. Mammoth continues to fight. Zyra's ulti comes down. Mammoth leaning towards the front of the fight. They're going to be able to take down Zyra. Some shutdown. And then El Shachu comes back with the Akshan passive. Little bit of hope. A little bit of wind in the sails of Boom What Up here. Getting some good gold back, but an exposed Nexus is not something that is easy to deal with, and the comp of Dinner Roll has the potential to just run straight through base.
They definitely do. Now having spent all of the money they got from that Dragon fight, or from that Baron fight, plus the inhibitor and the 2 inhibitor turrets, And now this bot lane turret as well. A lot of gold, a lot of gold sitting in the pockets of everybody on Dinner Roll, which they're now able to spend, giving more power spikes. We see 2 completed items from everyone except for the Leona on Dinner Roll, while we're sitting at about an item and a half for everybody on the side of Boom What Up, with the exception of the Ashe, who has the Immortal Shield Bow and the Wit's End. The second completed item does come out for Akshan right now, which is a very large power spike, and something we saw a little bit of in that last fight with him able to get a res onto El Shaka after El Shaka was taken down at the beginning of that fight. But we'll see if they are able to maintain that now with Dinner Roll getting vision priority of this bot side jungle. Dragon spawning in a minute.
And with that dragon coming up, one of my favorite concepts in League of Legends is walking a game in. When you have this amount of control, like Dinner Roll has, and I think the 10 to 15 score is a little bit deceptive with how this game is played out. But when you have this much control over what's going on the map, do you force the agenda, or do you walk it in, take your dragons, take your barons, and make sure that you're keeping gold up? I think it's a controversial topic. Some people say you should fight an engaged look here. Garfield Juice is going to zone you as El Shacha is a little deep. Syracuse is stepping in here. Ulti's coming down. El Shacha is going to Zhonya's. A really, really good Zhonya's, but Dinner Roll is there to follow up. And there's just not enough on the side of Boom What Up. Maybe this is an opportunity for them to end. But, like we were just saying there, that's not a force by any means. That is a good response. Garfield understands he has Zhonya's. His team will respond quickly. And they don't have to do anything. And it looks like a quick end is in sight here for Dinner Roll.
Yeah, game 1 is going to go to Dinner Roll. Akshan not able to pick up those kills quite yet. Good play from both teams, but a dominating performance from the side of Dinner Rolls in game 1.
Apologies on the dog bark there. Duke was very excited about the Dinner Roll win.
Does Duke like Dinner Rolls?
Duke likes anything that falls off the table. It could be a roll, it could be broccoli. As long as it is food, he will put it in his mouth.
As long as it's food, he will put it in his mouth.
He's a dog, man. Don't expect anything less from him.
No, I love it. We love it here.
So, let's get a poll up for player of the game. That was a spicy, spicy game. Josh, give us a little bit of your fallout. What do you think, Boom What Up is going to have to do to respond? What do you think Dinner Roll does? Do they run it back? Do they make some adjustments? What do we expect coming into this next game?
I think we need to see Dinner Roll pick a similar comp. I liked with the having carry potential in multiple lanes, with the Zyra, the Sylas, and the Varus all having carry potential, and the supportive, engage-heavy support and jungle champions. I think they had a very easy to execute, clear idea of how they wanted to play this game, and I think they played it well, getting priority in their lane to get a priority in vision. I think they just need to do something similar in this next game if they can pull out a similar team comp. I think the side of Boom What Up needs to find their identity a little bit more in this game. They were kind of scattered at what their champions wanted to do, not having great lane matchups and not having great cohesion with their characters. They picked comfort, which is always good, and we saw a lot of really good plays because of the comfort that they have on these characters, but comfort only goes so far when you're played in a 5s setting because of the communication that can happen, which we saw executed much better by the side of Dinner Roll. However, it was just game 1. The quote-unquote mistakes, don't want to call them mistakes, just how the game played out from Boom What Up has opportunities to be improved, and in game 2 I'd like to see them pick something with a little more cohesion, maybe a stronger jungle pick, or if you are going to pick the early game jungle, put a little more aggression like we saw put in that bot lane, maybe a little bit more aggression elsewhere on the map as well.
So far our MVP votes are incredibly split. a lot of up in the air. It is split basically amongst everybody. So at the moment, it is a tie. We'll leave that up for just a little bit longer, and we'll announce it as we come back from the break. But for now, we are going to go on a brief hiatus, and we will see you all very, very soon. Welcome back, everybody, to some more PMALCS action. We just finished game one between Dinner Roll and Boom. Spicy thing going on here. We got a three-way tie for MVP. So we're going to leave the link up for a little bit. Let you guys continue to fill that out as we get ready for this next game. And we'll check back in with it once this game two is over.
Vote if you haven't voted yet for people. Who is our three-way tie between?
Right now, we've got Garfield Juice, Zepho, and Squint taking the three-way tie. All very, very good picks there. Who's your pick for MVP? I didn't ask you before we went to the break.
Honestly, my pick for MVP would have been Sara Cruz. I think Sara Cruz is able to really get his lanes rolling, having high kill participation in that game, had a lot of agency for his team. I also think we have to give a shout out to No Not November. I'm giving shout outs to the two members of the time of Dinner Roll that are not up for contestant for this MVP vote, but No Not November playing that Leona very well, provided a lot of agency for Squints to be able to make the plays he wanted to play. Though we did see some good aggression and good plays for sure, carry potential from all three of the other members of Dinner Roll. I think I would have to give it to probably to the Zyra. I think I would give it to Zepho in that game, between those three people.
Very, very spicy. Excuse me also if you guys hear a lip smack. I'm eating dinner. It was a long work day, and I love you guys, but not enough to not eat dinner today. So, sorry for that. I would say that for me, I give it to Squints. I mean, there's something to be said for ADCs, especially on a champ like Varus, consistently being in the right place to be behind the tanks, to be behind the front line, and just continually laying down damage, not canceling autos, getting the Qs in, weaving spells appropriately. I think it got them through a lot of fights. There were a lot of Qs that were efficient, hit multiple people. I don't know. Something about the way he played had me for lack of a better word, I'm going to get reamed in chat for this, had me a little turned on to the way he played. So I would have given it to Squints there.
Squints made you excited?
Squints always makes me excited.
That's understandable.
It doesn't matter.
Grunts is a wonderful person.
The only thing that could make me more excited is if he was playing this game in a Seraphine cosplay.
We did see a Seraphine AD earlier this week. Maybe we'll see another Seraphine.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Seraphine in the AD role. It was not very successful in the game it was played, though a valiant effort by Flirty, who piloted that champion.
Do we have a spec link yet?
Yeah, I sent it in chat a bunch of times, but you might have joined after.
Oh, yeah, I probably joined after. I was relieving myself of the pain and burden that is life. Oh, okay.
Oh, actually, let me open up this link. This is myself.
Oh my god. I gotta put it into Chrome.
Okay, but oh my gosh.
Is it this one? Or is this one already done? Nope, I need to copy the link again. Alt tab.
E37MC2R4.
I see it. I messed it up the last time. Cut me some slack. I'm only a baby. Wah, wah, wah. I'm a baby.
You are a baby, but
I'm not.
Baby.
I'm not Jub baby, and
You're not
that's the
baby,
difference
you're just
maker.
a baby.
Yes. All right.
Just opened a mango White Claw.
Ooh, my boss was telling me today about something he does to White Claws to make them spicy. We'll talk about this later, but.
Please, I mean, we can talk about it here. Nothing. We're about to. We got a R.
Oh darn! Champ select.
Boom. We're not in Champ Select yet. Thank you for Labyrinth 1898 for the tier 1 subscription.
There's nothing. I guess if we have a drunk carry in PMALCS, we can certainly talk about what I do to White Claws to make them better.
I'm also just very intrigued what you do to White Claws to make them better.
You drink the top.
We do not sponsor underage drinking. I am 21. I'm 23. And Dylan also is of age to be drinking. So
Wait, you're 23? When's your birthday?
July.
Ha! I'm older, you baby.
Ha!
I don't act like it though. Yeah, you drink a little bit off the top of the White Claw, and then you give it vodka, and it's called gassing a White Claw.
Yeah, I can imagine that's good.
I like that.
I can imagine it's good. I have vodka. I'm not gonna do that today.
It's a Monday.
It's the
Sunday. It's a Lord's Day. All right, we've got draft. Do some spicy talking here so I can eat my cheese curds, just.
Some spicy turkey. Some spicy talking. Well, we're seeing very similar bands come out so far that we saw last game too, with Shaco and Graves being taken off the table by Dinner Bowl, with the Katarina as well from the first game, but now Zyra being respected from Zepho, as Shen is also taken off the board from Dinner Roll along with that Viego. Still not quite sure where that Shen is coming from. The Viego, very obviously Sarah Cruz's favorite and main champion, so we understand where that band's coming from as we are moving into Dinner Roll, looking to take their first pick and see what they are prioritizing in this game, and it's going to be the Nautilus for No Not November, his namesake champion. So we're going to get to see him pilot the Nautilus and see how he is able to play that character and what successes he is going to have in this game with that champion, doing a very good job on the Leona, which have very similar roles in their kits. Both do different things better. Nautilus having a little more range ability, while Leona having a lot of really hard single target lockdown with the consistent CC from the EQ and ultimate. You see Galio locked in for what could be either Coach Eggboy or Blue 17 on Boom What's Up, and the Varus for Gunji, taking away from Squints in that last Varus Nautilus, a very good bot lane duo, so it's something good to take away. A comfort pick for champion for Squints, as I expect to see an ADC counter pick here. Ezreal is what
I have this on good authority, speaking with the coach of Boom What Up, that Galio is also possibly a play in top lane. You never know.
That would be spicy. Having flexibility with the pick is good though, especially for a first round pick. not knowing who you're going to be facing into. We see the Victor coming in for the mid lane. They're definitely expecting that Galio to go mid, showing the Victor so soon. But we'll have to see. I expect an AD pick here. Now we see the Jhin come out. I would have liked to see it. Ezreal provides good long-range poke, good into the Varus, and good into the Galio as well, if the Galio is in the support role.
Controversial.
Jhin also synergizes very well with Nautilus with the fourth shot potential.
Controversial hot take here, but that's why they brought me in for this job. I don't care that Jin's win rate is high right now. I don't care that he's an S-tier champion. I just don't like that champion. I don't like it. It makes me sad. I had to put that on record because I've been controversial before and it's bit me in the ass. So I'm going to be controversial here too, and hopefully he doesn't bite me in the ass.
It's awkward for sure, mechanically, because of the fourth shot. Your position is very important, and without having the ability to up your attack speed, how you use your auto attacks and how you position is of a very high priority. Having the Nautilus as the support helps a lot because it provides for peel for the Jhin and lockdown, which allows the Jhin to get off a lot of this damage, as we see the Trundle and Olaf bans coming out from Boom What Up in round 2. After picking up the Amumu, a lot of more focus still going on to this jungle matchup, as we are seeing Dinner Roll ban out the Tom Kench, not wanting to deal with that this game again, and as we move into their final ban.
As well, for all you armchair captains out there, prediction is up in chat. Totally misspelled because the H key on my laptop is screwed.
Is it really?
Yeah, the H key on my laptop, because I have it set up to like my desktop, and then my laptop is where I have like chat and all that. My H is messed up, probably from playing a lot of League of Legends and smacking that shit, because I had Vision like hotkeyed to it for a little while, so I'd spam the fuck out of it just to make people mad.
Interesting.
I like the Amumu pick here. So far, I'm liking Boom's comp a lot more. Opting to get that second tank in there, which I think was a part of the downfall in the last game, and allows him to step into those difficult chokes and rise. I like this pick. I like where this is headed.
I like the Rise pick as well. It maintains the apparently Galio flex between top and supports. The Amumu giving them a much better team identity with now having that massive AoE lockdown from the Amumu ultimate, as well as the Galio ult that can follow up with Varus and Rise being able to free fire at will. Rise is going to be a Scalian champion, going to have a little bit of difficulty against Victor early in this game, as Sylas is going to be picked up again for Dinner Roll.
And we talk about this a lot when we look at Galio getting picked. We say, okay, Nocturne jungle, right? That's or even mid at times. That's the next logical step. Rise accomplishes something similar. I really like that pickup there. I'm interested to see how Sylas picks work out. Is it just because they felt good about it on the last game? I don't necessarily love the ultis for Sylas here, but they do scale off AP. So there is that. But I don't love a Rise or Galio ulti for Sylas. Ooh, the Skarner pick. I like that. We got Captain Flowers in PMALCS right now.
I do like the Sylas pick here. I think the Rise ult, not as much, but the Amumu ult, the Varus ult, and I do think the Galio ult is a very good ult to steal. It allows for some cross-map plays. Even in the moment, that's a big AoE CC ability you're not going to be expecting to run into. With the almost the Fior, but we're going to see the set going into Sylas for Mammoth in the top lane this game with these completed rosters. I also like the Skarner pick here. Again, we're seeing the supportive jungle play style coming out of Syracuse with the three carry champions from Zepho, Squids, and Garfield Juice for this side of Dinner Roll.
I was right last game. I said easy to execute. That's what I want to see. I'm going to put my hot take out there. I think this is going to turn into a 1-1. I think Boom is going to get a game back here. I think instead of jumping at the chance to play their mains, they are jumping at a chance to build a comp. play a 5-man game. You saw it in a lot of those fights in the last game. The fights were closer than I think you would, it looked. And there was just a lack of synergy between what they were playing. Now we've got some synergy. Let's see what that does for Boom coming into this game. I think they're going to pick up a dub here. How about you, Josh?
I definitely like their comp a lot more in this game. When I look at PMALCS matches, as far as like what team I think has the advantage, I look at which team I would be more sad to look at if I was in a solo queue match. And looking at these two teams, I would be much more sad to look at Dinner Roll's team with Silas, Skarner, Victor, and then the very aggressive Nautilus Jin in the bot lane. It's just the kind of team that you're like, what are we going to be able to do? I don't know, guess we'll find out once we get into the game. However, I think Boom has a much clearer picture for what they want to do. A little bit short range with the Varus and the Rise. Again, we're going to have to see if this Varus goes on hit or it goes with the lethality poke build. I, again, would like to see the on hit build this game. We never actually, someone in chat could tell us what build Squint ended up going. I forgot to look at it as we got further in the game. Other than the Mana Immune, the Mirror Mana, I don't know what was picked or was built.
Josh, we are really good at our jobs.
We are really good at our jobs. This is the first match that I've officially casted, and the only time outside of combines that I've casted. So I'm giving myself a pass for not remembering to look at the Varus build throughout that very hectic game.
Well, honey, you're doing great.
You're doing great, sweetie. Lethality. He went lethality. So
Hoagie gave us the confirmation on the lethality there. That's what I thought when I saw the two long swords from the Mana Moon. I thought we were headed towards a Duskblade. I think.
Yeah, that's what I would have guessed. That's what I was guessing. I personally like the Dark Harvest more with the build. I think the Hail of Blades just synergizes better with the on-hit build since it gives you the auto-attack speed boost. But obviously Squids did massive amounts of damage. That game was very strong, a very large reason for Dinner Roll's victory. I'd like to see if Gunji can do the same kind of thing this game with a stronger, in my opinion, carry ADC, as opposed to the more supportive ADC that is Ashe from the last game, which he did play very well, but was not able to carry his team to victory.
So, how do we do this? How do we win this game? If you're Boom and you're Dinner Roll, how are you winning this game?
I think Boom just needs to play more, assertively. I think they were playing reactively in the last game. They were waiting for things to happen and then trying to respond to them, which is why we saw them getting picked off and caught out a lot throughout that last game. Being late to set up vision, trying to set up vision without they having priority, trying to make plays without having prio in lanes. I think they need to be more assertive and say, this is what I want to do, speaking as any of the members on Boom. This is what I want to do in the next minute. This is how we're going to make sure that goal is accomplished, and this is what you need to do, talking to the teammates, in order to have that goal appear and happen. If we want to see an Amumu gank in this bot lane, we need to say, okay, we're going to let the enemy bot lane of Jhin and Nautilus push us in so Amumu has an easier gank angle in this game. Or, okay, I'm going to go clear out the river so the enemy team doesn't see Amumu walking in. I also think that Boom has an easier execution this game with much more CC available to their fingertips, more agency, more abilities for providing assistance that's not just straight damage. Dinner Roll, I think, just needs to play a very similar game to the one they did last time. Skarner is going to be looking to grab either this Rise or this Varus at the beginning of a fight so they can burst them down and have them be a non-factor. And being a supportive jungle, again, for this triple hyper carry potency of the Victor, Jhin, and Silas.
I am a big fan of looking at things to focus on. We talked about jungle last game. And in the last game, jungle really had a massive impact on how the game went. Syracuse's aggression, especially through the second phase of the game, sort of mid to late game, was a huge difference maker. He put his life on the line and put his team in an opportunity to succeed. It didn't end up costing him. He didn't have to die, but they were certainly, risky plays. Let's see if David can do that in this game on the Amumu, pull something similar out of his hat. Where I'm looking at this, Victor Rise. This is something that
I was gonna say the same thing.
I think Victor Rise, and this is gonna be a little nerd in my, ignore my little nerdiness here. Victor Rise is something we saw a lot in pro play over the last year. There's especially a few patches ago, where Victor was a trump card in League of Legends. You repeatedly saw Perks playing him. Last split, and a lot of Korean mid laners were playing some variation of Rise Victor. If they had the Rise or they played the Victor. It's a battle of mid lane titans here. How well do you play laning phase? Because if you screw up laning phase on either of those champions, it makes your late game miserable. Because that is what you are there to do. You are there to make it later in the game and scale. But you've got these hyper-aggressive junglers. How does that play in the mid lane? That's going to be a super, super important part of this game. How do the junglers affect this mid lane matchup? Who's getting the push? Who's got better vision around mid lane? This game, in my opinion, centers around the mid lane. Bot's going to be bot. Both of the bot lanes in these last games, played incredibly well, were strong. What happens in mid lane? In my opinion, disappointing performances in the last game on both sides in the mid. So what happens here? I'm excited. These are two champs that I love. In the brief 2 weeks, I thought I had the hands to play mid. Ipsnay on the upsnay, I do not. These were champs that I loved playing. So I'm over the moon to see this happening. We saw Rise yesterday, played by literally Nate, a champ that he is super fond of, and we got a little glimmer of what that champ could do at times. An incredible play. Forget who he was laning into on bot side. Nearly picked up a kill. Just the versatility of that champ as the game goes later. Hopefully the same thing on his FO here on the Victor. 15 seconds. We are getting ready to load into this game. Last chance to get some predictions in chat, because predictions almost gone. So, for posterity, type it out. Tell me who you think is going to win this game. Let us know what is going on. Thank you for joining us tonight for another amazing game of League of Legends. Unfortunately, we were unable to stream the other game at 8 o'clock. Slight miscommunication, and did not have enough streamers tonight for the 8 o'clock game. But Bear Jr., the master himself, is going to be streaming your next 10 o'clock game later tonight. I do not have the teams in front of me, but I'm sure it's going to be a banger.
Shenanigans versus Little John Big Peters. Little John's Big Peters. Both of those are possessive because it makes no sense. I asked about that when the name was sent.
Regardless, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for being with us for another incredible evening of PMALCS, the greatest League of Legends league in PMA. Thank you. I'll be here for at least another 40 minutes, hopefully. We'll see.
Do we have a winner of Game 1 MVP?
Let me go back and double check. Boy, howdy, we do not.
We don't.
Oh, wait, now we do. Just kidding. Squints is. Ha! Squints, you're MVP. You're playing a game right now, but you are MVP.
Squints should not be in chat right now, and if he is, get out.
Game's already over. FF 2 minutes.
Game's already over. FF 2 minutes in. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
I'm not sure how you get away with that.
I can only imagine.
Everybody just F5s at the same time?
I mean, it's possible. We could have a restart. Imagine restarting in a custom.
Imagine me wanting to die. I'd be like, this stream is over for the night.
Bye.
Like,
Bye,
you will watch us another day. The 10-second pause. Incoming. Oh, that was a lot quicker than the last game.
Yeah, it was very much quicker. Move on some character icons.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do that in a second.
Paused at 10.
Oh, and you. Let's see. Sets top. Not a Jin jungle. That would be depressing expressing.
Red side is okay.
Alright. I am all figured. I hope. 3, 2, 1, LCS.
What up?
That's my really budget interpretation of that song. What's it called? Gold Boo Boos?
I have no idea what
Something like that.
I'm liking the synergy coming out from Boom What Up early in this game with all of them saying Boom What Up or some variation of What Up Boom, as we see some aggressive movement coming out of Dinner Roll, another cheeky level 1 play with this Nautilus, the very strong level 1 champion. They are going to be spotted out though on this ward.
Nice little hook there. Gonna find the wall. Not gonna find any champions though. A little sad. Well,
I'd
now.
I'd like to see the invade coming out of El Shaka now and playing aggressive to steal this blue buff. We know that they're not going to be starting there. They'll be starting on the red. Very easy to take this blue buff now, or at least set up a cheese bush for Garfield Juice as he starts to move up towards the top lane.
I am fascinated to see how the Skarner plays out. I think that Skarner is incredibly underrated as a champion. I think he's good just in general because the utilities win rate might not reflect it, but when played well, he is a powerhouse. I guess that's true of any champion. If you play it well, it's going to be good. But I don't know. Something about Skarner makes me feel like that is the truth.
I definitely know what you mean. Skarner's the kind of champion that it's like, if this person's good at this character, I'm going to hate my life this entire game playing against them.
It also heavy rewards macro.
Very
like,
heavy rewarding champion.
Skarner is not necessarily like, I'm going to use my favorite word here. Skarner is not exactly skill expressive. But Skarner is a very, very good champion in rewarding macro. We saw the Sicky engage down there. W coming down with the flash would come out of the Varus there. So Gunji is not going to have flash for a minute. Saved him likely from a death. Ignite as well went down from No Not November. A little bit of trading. A little more than trading in bot lane. But that's what you like to see.
It is really to see. You also see the junglers deciding to go vertical jungle here. With Skarner electing to go straight to the blue and then to the wolves and now to the Gromp after taking only his red. Meanwhile, Amumu started on the Raptors, then went to his red buff before taking the blue and now taking the Gromp.
This is something that we've seen from Fred quite a bit. He is fast through the jungle. He likes to get through the jungle and get out. And his clear is super efficient here. Likely going to be looking for some kind of play to figure out what's going on. No Not is up there. Maybe care for a roam up top here or up into the mid lane and maybe counter on this rise, get some pressure early. But I think it's just going to be a scuttle trade here.
Yeah, he's just looking to help make sure to secure that scuttle. With Mammoth also moving down from the top lane to help El Shaka secure that scuttle too. The top side scuttle. Syracuse coming out with the better side, with the better edge of that trade though, of the jungle invade getting all of the blue side camps, while El Shako only took the Gromp and the blue buff. So a little bit of a more efficient trade coming out of Syracuse as we see Garfield Juice and Mammoth having a little bit of wet noodle fight. Not really a wet noodle fight because they're both bruisery characters, but a little bit of trading going on in the top lane.
Yeah, that's what you like to see from these two tops. These two sort of want to skirmish, they want to trade and manage their waves efficiently. So very, very good to see them following the script.
Also, we just saw both junglers sitting around that bot lane looking for a gank. The side of General was aware the Mumu was nearby because of the wards they have placed in that blue side jungle. Mumu is now reset, moving towards his top side. We will see if Syracuse is going to go back and revisit this bot lane after taking his Gromp, even though we just saw Boom What Up put a ward into the tri-bush. So it looks like Syracuse is going to try to make a lane gank here. No Not November hook going wide. That is going to be called off as Syracuse is now going to go back to go back to base to buy before clearing some more of his jungle.
Like we talked about in the last game, how do the junglers affect these matchups? And you're seeing Syracuse try to get into these lanes almost immediately. Amumu topside here, maybe a little spicy situation here up top. Amumu could return gank this. Mammoth is going to engage, knowing that Amumu is coming. Here comes the E from Mammoth, but the Kingslayer is going to come in, but that means he's not going to have it for when El Shaka goes in. El Shaka flashes Qs, Not going to go for that second one and dive the turret. And spicy play. Spicy top play there. Good trading. Good gank. I think a little more successful than the look bot lane there. But I think Sylas is a really hard champ to gank in top lane. I think his dashes, his ability to CC, and his sustain makes that a really hard gank. Wave pushing here, though. Garfield Juice is healing up, maybe looking for some kind of take here. But Syracuse is top to return this gank. Doesn't even go straight over El Shacha. And the TP coming in from Boom What Up. Garfield Juice is low. Mammoth is going to look for this W here. And that is going to be first blood over to set the level 1 skirmisher back at it again. And getting first blood here at their level 4. You love to see that out of Set. You love to see early fighting. That's what he does. He's a brawler. This is what Set wants to do. The TP coming in to secure that. And Syracuse, sort of unknowingly, I don't know if he saw him or not, just going straight over El Shacha and allowed good positioning for that fight there.
Yeah, good awareness, good TP from Coach Eggboy as well to get in position for that play in order to cut off all of the angles for Syracuse to escape. He did just try to run through El Shaka. I think the goal was, because of the speed boost, just run through it, get the stun onto Mammoth, who is low on health, and Garfield Juice was going to be able to pick up that kill without much worry coming out of Yamumu, and then being able to clean up Yamumu as well. Not executed the way they wanted it to, as Mammoth is going to pick up the first blood and have the Iron Spike Whip now in his inventory, as we see some attempted aggression from Boom What Up in this bot lane, but the recalls from Dinner Roll are going to be completed.
Yeah, so just checking in on our gold count a little bit. A little bit of a lead for Boom What Up here. Not something we saw last game. It was a tad closer. They're sort of right on top of each other in the gold count. That first blood is going to make a big difference here. And we saw a return kill pretty quickly from Dinner Roll in the last game. And so when is that coming? Is Dinner Roll going to be able to pull one back here, or are we going to see Boom What Up push a little harder, try to get that next kill, and not give them the hope of getting back into this game? I mean, they're in the game. Getting back into this game is the wrong thing, but you know what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Can they extend their lead?
Game, there's no one out of this game yet, though we do see a 600 gold lead, 500 gold lead from Dinner Roll.
A little bit of a skirmish here in top.
It is large for this part of the game.
Big fight down here in bot. Everybody is here, so this is an even fight. Flash coming out from Gunji there. Galio is looking to maybe peel his team out. Oshachu walking out as if he doesn't want this. Seems to be the case. And they're going to just walk out with a little bit of a trade there. Gunji taking out his flash. Galio dropping his exhaust there. Nothing going over from the side of Dinner Roll. Gotta say successful there for Dinner Roll.
Everyone being level 5 there definitely made for a more interesting situation. That would have been a very different fight if we saw ultimates that were available from Varus, Amumu, Skarner. I mean, any of the 6 characters involved with that last little play. Could have made a very different fight, a very different situation. Though we do see the ultimate coming out of Varus and Jhin now, with the possibility to engage from the Varus, though both members of Dinner Roll are very healthy, as we see some focus going out from Syracuse at the bot lane after getting priority. Dinner Roll to take that first
Engager from No Not November. The W though from Jhin is going to land. Kenda or Blue 17 is going very low. Ignite goes down onto the Galio, and here comes the Skarner ulti pulling the Varus. You would assume he's dead with no flash up. Syracuse has slain Gunji, and a disaster in bot lane there.
Very good play by No Not November, moving out of. I'm a huge fan of when you're playing support, leaving the lane, leaving the dragon a little bit early, since your damage, especially when it's uncontested, because your damage is not gonna change how fast that dragon has taken mostly. So taking a little bit earlier leave to get back towards the lane, able to get the hook onto Blue 17, and then using the ultimate to knock up both Blue 17 and Guji, allowing for more time for Squints and Syracuse to get over to that fight. Syracuse using the flash to get onto
a dive coming in here on top. Flash from Garfield Juice. A W could take him low. Mammoth is going to get him. Does he take one more tower shot? No, he does not. He's going to get alive, but he does take another tower shot. Oh, cheeky. That was nearly not good, but an engage here from the Victor, and Syracuse going in a failed flash there in mid, and you could say this might be the end for Eggboy. Eggboy's going to try and ulti his way out, but he's not going to get out in time. Mammoth unable to roam down to help. Wow. Something that looked like it could be brutal in top lane turned into a brutal mid play. And also checking in with chat here, they said, I demand more pictures of Squints. Well, you got him on that kill down there, and we're probably going to see more soon, because I don't think this is going to stop.
More pictures of Squints or just more Squints in this game?
It says, I demand more pictures of Squints lol. You're looking at him right now.
Yeah, we do. We see him right there. About to hit that 4th shot, ready to unload.
Chat is needy, man.
That is needy. Again, we see a very close game. These two teams obviously very evenly matched, just seeing who can get these advantageous positions in this game and make some things happen. Syracuse being very effective on the Skarner so far this game with 100% kill participation, as well as Al-Shaka having 100% kill participation with Mammoth in that top lane. Faux show. Next dragon spawning in about just over 2.5 minutes. We might see some priority going towards this Rift Herald now, without many plates have been taken. Just one in mid and one in bot lane. We could see this Rift Herald, but we do see Syracuse moving up to the top lane to fight Mammoth.
Big engage up here up top. Mammoth is going to put a W down. Syracuse is going to use that ulti to drag Mammoth to all hell. Kingslayer coming in, and there's going to be a shutdown over to the Silas. We're seeing something that we saw happen in the last game. But, again, engages bot. Galio's going to look for something. Amumu is ganking. There's going to be an opportunity to kill Squints here. The Blues taking damage while they focus on No Not November. The bandage toss is going to go down. Nautilus is going to go back in and get the kill onto the Galio, returning something. But does he go down in exchange? E coming down. Varus is going to take him out. Double kill for Varus. That is huge gold in the pocket of Gunji in bot lane. And we saw this happen in the last game a little bit. The fighting started to come out, and then you saw the picks. And that seems to be what's happening on top side of the map. Script is playing out very, very similar right now as to the last game.
Yeah, it definitely is. Seeing where the priority is, I think Gunji is one of the two people on this red side that you do want to get those kills on. Varus can be an incredibly strong character. We are going to see the lethality build with this Serrated Dirt coming out again from Varus now on the opposing side. And Rise is going to scale off of just getting massive amounts of CS. So with the current highest CS in the game, he's more than okay to
Gank coming in top though here, and there's the set ulti trying to get himself back to tower. He's gonna E. TP coming in the top lane. Garfield just shouldn't have his E up. He steals the Rise ulti, maybe trying to get himself out, but Coach Eggboy is gonna get the kill there.
Good play by Mammoth to get on the inside of Garfield Juiced and ult him towards the tower, and good awareness by Coach.
Flash ulti from El Sheikha. The fighting doesn't stop. Galio's going to get his taunt. Q goes behind, making the slow. Squints can kite this back. No Not November is inevitably going to fall here, but maybe he takes El Sheikha with him. The Jin ulti comes down, but we're taking the top lane where Syracuse is engaging on Mammoth. Could this be a trade back? Mammoth does have the wave, but he's not going to have W to keep himself alive. Mammoth goes down to a Skarner gank. Checking back in bot lane. Nothing comes of the ulti from Squints. We had to say that was risky, and it was a hairy situation on bot lane. Played well by the side of Boom. What up?
Really liking the aggression coming out of Al-Shaka. Multiple flash engages we've seen now. The first one earlier not picking up in a kill, or the one earlier not picking up in a kill top lane when he flash bandage tossed onto Garfield Juice, but that one did come up with a kill as Gunji fires a nice corrupting chains, I think that's the name of that ability, towards Squints, who flashes out of it before it collides.
No, while we're in
a kill.
A slight lull, and by lull I mean they're not fighting at the moment. I didn't want much out of this job, but one of the things I wanted was to bring excitement back to PMALCS, and one of the things that brings us excitement is getting Zeffy Weffies in chat. I've been waiting 6 months to ask this. If you are in chat, can we get some Zeffy Weffies and will on our man to scale into this game? Zeffy Weffies, please.
Exclamation point Zeph in chat. As we see more aggression coming out from El Shakha. The bandage toss just gonna go a little wide, or a little short in that situation. And again, a very close gold spread. We were exactly even a few seconds ago, and now we see just a 500 gold lead from Dinner Roll. Very close game, all around.
So, we talked about this with the last game. Boom What Up's comp, we didn't think it was super easily executable. Now they've got that. Script is going similar. Is the change in comp going to be enough to get them through some of these pivotal fights coming up at Dragon?
I think we'll find out right here.
Galio ulti coming down. E goes in from the Galio. He's looking for the taunt. He's going to get it. Bandage toss takes El Shachu too far away. The damage is coming down on the back, but Syracuse can't seem to fall. Boom What Up is getting destroyed, but on his way out, Coach Eggboy takes someone, dodging the Nautilus hook. On the other end, Zepho is pushing for Gunji. The W comes in from long range from Squints, and there's going to be a kill for Victor. Fight somewhat chaotic there. The damage just didn't seem to come through in droves enough for Boom What Up there. And Rise, the only one to make it out alive. This is going to be an uncontested Dragon for Dinner Roll.
I think in this situation we saw the same issue that we saw in the first game, where Dinner Roll was able to get to the objective first, was able to set up Vision Priority, was able to set up their characters, and we saw Boom What Up trying to come in scattered. They did not come in together. Amumu got picked off at the top of the fight, was able to put down good CC, and a little bit of damage, was able to follow it up, along with the Galio ult, but not quick enough. And they were just taken off slowly one by one with a very good response from the side of Dinner Roll.
Yeah, I mean, we've also got to talk about just how clean some of that fight is from Dinner Roll. I mean, that long-range W and forcing out Gunji through the other side of the jungle, splitting the team up, and understanding that they were sort of moving as a unit through the jungle up until that point, and then they made a good decision as to who to go on to. Great execution from Dinner Roll on that fight. Could be the difference in these very, very close battles.
For sure. If you don't mind terribly, I need to use the little caster's room. I've just been holding it, and I don't think I should anymore, so I'm going to leave it for about a minute.
What do you mean, little casters? Whoa!
Wink, BRB.
Hook coming in onto the Galio in mid. W is going to come down for Squints. It's going to do nothing to that tanky boy, but the Victor might. Fight going on in top lane. Syracuse is getting engaged on. Amumu ulti comes down. The W is already out for Mammoth. They're trying to fight two different people. Garfield Juice is going to try to get this kill, but Mammoth flashes out. Elishachu not content with this. Kingslayer should be coming out momentarily, but the bandage toss is going to come in. Slight stun, and the taunt, or what is it called? Taunt? No. Whatever his E is. Thing where he whips around like a freaking psychopath at a club. Gets the kill there for Amumu. Fighting back. Boom is fighting back. They are not content to go peacefully into the night. Now, this is normally why I ask Juice to explain things that I don't understand about League of Legends, because my brain simply does not function. So instead, I'm going to turn and look at chat. I did get some Zeffy Weffies. That made me happy. Zeffy Weffies made me very, very happy in chat. I also had Buffalo Wild Wings for dinner, so it really feels like a true LCS match right now. We see them, we see Dinner Roll posturing around this Rift Herald here. It's an 18-minute Rift Herald. Some people would argue that that is not a very useful Herald, but nonetheless better to have it than not to have it at all. They're going to try and burst this down. Boom, in no position to contest. Something that we saw similarly in the last game, these priorities over these objectives, just simply not going Boom's way. Boom, however, in opposition to the last game, does have vision out through their jungle. With the towers going down for Dinner Roll, though, that is gold in their pocket. We haven't really discussed yet. Mammoth down here on the side lane with Garfield Juice, a true one-on-one. Nobody over there to contest. TP's up, though, for Egg Boy and for Garfield Juice in case he needed to get out. Tower goes down to top lane. And we see Boom What Up reduced to their tier 1s. And only the tier 1 in bot lane out for Dinner Roll. At this point in the game, I would think, if you're Boom, let's farm. The gap's not too far that we can't farm ourselves back into this game. That is just my opinion. My opinion is a silver opinion, though. So, do with that information what you will. But yeah, I see this as an opportunity for them to farm, try and get themselves back in the game, get as much gold as you can, and hope that you are a little more efficient. Close the gap just a tad. Meanwhile, Vision is clearing out over here. You got a dragon coming up in a minute, and here's that prio again. You have support.
Did I miss anything important?
Not really, just some farming. You have support Galio backing here, but very clearly, the blue side putting an emphasis on getting to that dragon as a response. Nautilus already standing in front of the pit, and Jin and Skarner working their way over there. This is Soul Point, and this is what we saw in the last game. 3 dragons controlled by Dinner Roll, objectives controlled, and this whole concept of walking a game into the finish line. They don't have the same lead that they did in the last game, but they certainly have an opportunity here to put themselves in the best position to succeed. Garfield just is going to miss his E2, though. Fight's going down all over the place. Blue turret goes down. W's coming in from set here. The bandage tossed far to the back of Squints, but Gale Force is going to get him out alive. Victor TP's in. Victor is going to get a kill onto the set there with TP's coming in clutch. Nautilus hooks keeps him in the range of the Jin ulti. Jin ulti is going to take him down. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a free dragon for the side of Dinner Roll.
I like the play by Boom, what up? They just didn't have the damage there to follow it up. A lot of really good CC, a lot of really good attempt, but without Gunji or Coach Eggboy there, Mammoth only can do so much, and the Amumu is not a very high damage character. They weren't able to do the damage necessary despite the really good lockdown, and with the teleport, or with the Zepho able to get there behind them in that fight, going to take them down, as now it looks like Dinner Roll is going to be moving towards the Baron to take another early Baron just like the last game.
I don't know. Dinner Roll is a minute late to this Baron off of their last pace. This is a serious regression from Dinner Roll over here.
A serious deficit, or we could say it's a serious improvement from Boom, what up?
I'm
limiting them by a minute to take this.
I'm gonna call this now. Just from what I know of Fred, the times I played with Fred, consistency is key for a guy like Fred, and this team is exuding that right now. Just Mammoth getting picked off on the side here. W is gonna come down, do a significant amount of damage, but just not enough to get anything to Baron. Recalls are coming in. Back to what I was saying. Fred is nothing if not consistent. And the objective control on these games has been insane. And to make a horrible, horrible pun that I'm going to get roasted in chat for, their bread and butter on this Dinner Roll team is going to be this objective control. It has been insane. They are getting kills at every objective. Very, very similar. I don't want to make the comparison because this team is not... I haven't seen enough of this team to shout them at this quality yet, but very similar to Draft Diff. Draft Diff had everything. Controlled every objective, and that is what a model that it has worked in PMALCS, and you are going to see that continue to play out with this Dinner Roll team.
I definitely think I 100% agree. The game has been very close in terms of individual player ability and in terms of laning and those sorts of matchups. We haven't seen any one player take over the game because of lane. What we are seeing is very good macro, very good team play coming up from the side of Dinner Roll, with heavy emphasis on prioritizing lanes, prioritizing objectives, prioritizing...
Mammoth looking for the flank here. He's going to get the R onto the Jin here. Jin's going to go down. This could be the turn for Boom. Everfrost coming down from Coach Eggboy. In deep is the Galio. The Galio's going to kite back. Taunt. He's flashing out. He stays alive. Flash in from Eggboy. Eggboy's going to get the root on to Syracuse. Syracuse goes down. Here's an opportunity. Ulti coming in from Rise. Zepho is running for his life. Is he going to be able to make it out? Nobody knows. This is a run. Is there anything for Boom What Up to get on the map while they chase? No, it doesn't look like that, so nothing to do. The Baron-powered recall goes, but the bandage toss coming in from the Amumu. Here comes the Zanyas, but it is almost written for Zepho. Zepho goes down, shutdown going over to Galio. And is that the turn Boom What Up needs?
Boom What Up is very strong, and I was starting to say they're very much still in this game. They just need to fight on their terms, and that is the situation where they fought on their terms. They were able to get a nice clean engage. Mammoth having a very good placement, getting around to the back of that fight, able to ult Squints into his team, getting him blown up almost instantly. Very good heads up play, very good engage, very good awareness, very good mental strength to now have a gold advantage despite being down 3 dragons and 2 towers. Only a 300 gold lead, or a 400 gold lead, but still the first time they've had a gold lead in this game in a while. And that's the kind of stuff they need to do. Just to Coach Eggboy possibly going to get picked off here by Syracuse. Syracuse going to elect to not chase any further, even though he does have the ultimate available, because of the peel, the self peel that Coach Eggboy has on the rise.
And we were talking about, well, I was talking about this a little bit while you were in the little caster's room, but
I thought I was a big caster.
you are a big caster, just you're my big caster. You're my big caster. But we were talking about how they got to farm and work their way back into this game. They took the time, they farmed, Gap got a little closer, and then they took a fight that they felt good with, that they felt comfortable with. They were able to get off their abilities. The flank for Mammoth looked like hell. I was proven wrong. Good on Mammoth for having the confidence and comfort.
Really well.
Yeah, look at he was stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I honestly do think that if they turn quicker, maybe that fight doesn't go the same. But Mammoth is able to get that ulti off, ult himself back into the safety team, and he takes out Squints in the process. And that is not a small thing, especially in those team fights. Here comes the bandage toss from El Shachu, though. Galio's going to ulti in. Nona is going to get picked up. The ulti from Set comes back in. They're continuing to fight. Garfield Juice is pushed out of this fight. Damage coming down everywhere. Set's going to get the double kill. Garfield Juice is peeling out to the side. The Q's going to miss from Varus. Flash over the wall from Squints. And here comes the Jhin ulti. What can he pick up on the way out? Mammoth is going to body block. And then they're going to switch that aggro onto Coach Eggboy. 5 up for the side of Boom. What up? Getting another kill there on Nona and to Syracuse. Jungler is down, so this is an opportunity, but they're low. Does Dinner Roll feel like they should contest this? They do have 3 dragons. There's no need. Boom needs to get 3 more dragons to even be in the same place as them. But
I thought I got stolen.
No steal there, not going to come to fruition, and Boom, what up? Sneaking their way back into this game. An incredible performance there, again, from El Shachu and Mammoth, knowing the limits and engaging in the right spot. I mean, that takes incredible knowledge of your champions and what is going on the other side to be able to pull off something like that.
And what we're also seeing is the map play being very strong from the side of Dinner Roll, but the team fight play not being as strong. Both Coach Eggboy and Gunji, the 2 damage carries of this team, of this Breadside team of Boom What Up, standing in that fight completely untouched, able just to free fire, free attack. Coach Eggboy on the rise now having 3 completed items in addition to his completed boots. And Gucci on his way, 2.5 items completed at 27 minutes, at almost 28 minutes. Both very strong.
I hate to keep harping on this, but I just love being right, and I want it on the record so that when Grant watches his VOD, he hears me say it. I like the comp better this game, and we were talking about how the comp here gives them an identity in these fights that was not present in the last one. And the fights in the previous game were close enough that it could have gone either way for quite a while. The comp is giving them an advantage here, as well as just the mental fortitude to stick with it, to not lose their mentals after the first game, to not lose their mentals as they fall behind, to fix the mistakes that they felt they had in the last game, fixing their vision. Excellent response from Boom What Up. And the comp is just playing better for them. I think something similar in this last game. Maybe the fortunes are different.
Boom What Up now needs to continue to play aggressive and maintain this playstyle that they've been executing for the last 10 or so minutes in this game to get themselves further ahead with this now almost 2k gold lead they have, in order to play aggressive, get prio throughout this map. They have 2 lanes pushing. They have all 3 lanes pushing right now.
The bandage toss misses its target, but he's gonna get it on his Squints. Here comes the Galio ulti. The Amumu and the Galio have been a deadly combo this entire time. The taunt coming in after the E from Galio. Shaco goes back in, but nothing gonna come of that. No kills? Or no, there was a kill. Squints did go down in that fight just a little earlier. Syracuse is gonna drag the Rise back in though and get the kill, and he's gonna continue pushing forward. But I'm not sure they have the damage to take this one, and they are just gonna peel back.
Good stun coming out from Syracuse and Zepho onto Eggboy to lock him down and make sure he does not get to live through that fight. But we're seeing the aggression coming out of Boom What Up, which is what we need. With another flash bandage toss from El Shaka onto Squids, who's just not able to play this game. I'd like to see a little bit of a change of pace picked up here and squints by QSS or something.
Well, and that's I was saying it before the game. How for good or for bad, my hot take of this game is that I don't like Jin as a champion. I think you're seeing that immobility of that champion. I mean, like you have to use. He's using the Gale Force defensively. He's pushed up a little far. I'll give you that he was picked, but it's just you're not going to get much damage on your way out unless you're perfect with Jin. And so an opportunity like that can be a little tough. You know, Syracuse, good on him to get that trade kill back on the Rise. You know, possibly favors them a little more because Rise had a good shutdown and keeping him off the map is important. Here comes the flash though from Gunji. The bandage toss just misses on the Syracuse, but on the flank is Eggboy with the just permacy. See a great bandage toss. Syracuse goes down. In the bot lane, Mammoth is going after Garfield Juice, but the Kingslayer is proving too much for Mammoth. Mammoth is moving aside. Team fight here in mid lane though, and God, the Victor is tearing this team apart. Zepho's just gonna get out. Oh no, he doesn't get out. Galio comes back in with the ulti as it just comes back up. They're going to try and kite their way back. No, not November stepping forward, maybe for an engage. The TP comes in from Garfield Juice. Kenta is just going to walk out. Blue 17 walks out. Garfield Juice is going to come back in and get a kill there. And uh-oh.
Field fights.
Uh-oh.
I think Kenta's dead, possibly.
I think he's good. I think he's out. Let's place bets.
He's out.
Damn, I love a good opportunity to gamble. Baron play here.
Do you think they're gonna get this? Okay, Syracuse.
I don't think so. I don't think there's a. I don't know.
If Syracuse, if the jungle's timers, spawn timers were switched, I don't think they get this. But Syracuse spawning 12 seconds before El Shaka.
They're gonna be low. There's maybe an opportunity for some kind of cleanup. Oh, but it is sped up. The damage on the Baron has sped up quite a bit. Blue team takes it, and they're going to trade the dragon.
We do see inside of Boom What Up going for this dragon. They are going to be able to get this dragon, further extending the Air Soul, not the most important dragon soul in the game, one of the weaker souls in my opinion, though it does definitely have its benefits, especially for this side of Boom What Up, where the ultimates are very important and mobility is very important, especially for Gunji and El Shaka. I'm liking these adaptations. I like how close this game is. It's not a blowout by any stretch of the imagination. It's going back and forth. It's a fun game to watch. Something both teams should be proud of for their first week of matches, and stuff they can learn on and grow from as well.
Absolutely. I just need a minute to catch my breath. This game has been a.
Zepho just backed on a ward that he saw.
Burn.
Okay. Syracuse cleared out some vision around the dragon. Just some farming going on right now. We see Coach Eggboy having 4 items completed on this Rise. Absolutely massive. Blue 17 possibly getting caught out.
W coming down from Squints, the crit there.
Oh, Shaka going.
Shachi's trying to kite back. He's not going to be able to. That is going to be a lot of damage. He stays alive as long as he possibly can. Mammoth TP's onto the backside, but it is going to be brutal for him in these parts. W almost picking up a kill. The ulti is going to bring Nona back. Excellently played by Mammoth. Galio is going to go down as well. There's just not going to be enough on this side. Gunji is running for his life. Maybe not able to get it back to the damage, but he does get a kill in there. Maybe stays a little too long, though. Squints is going to take him down. This could be a march. Pink's coming out for the inhibitor here. Waves coming up, though. Makes it a little difficult, but Baron buff, you never know.
I think this is game. 23 seconds on El Shaka.
Yeah, it is.
And a wave and Baron. I think this is game right here.
I was holding out hope.
Very good play from Boom What Up in this second game. We saw what we saw in the first game and in the early part of this game in that last fight where they engaged without everybody present. El Shaka going aggressive, good aggression, good opportunity, but without the damage from Coach Eggboy and Gunji there at the moment, nothing to follow up, and we saw multiple members of Boom What Up getting taken down at the beginning of that fight, and then the numbers advantage for Dinner Roll taking over that team fight despite some good play from Mammoth and from Gunji at the tail end of that team fight.
Yeah, and I'm just setting up the MVP poll here so we can get that going, and then we can figure out who is coming in to speak with us following that 2-0 from dinner.
Who's your pick for game 2?
Shush, you know I can only do one thing at a time. I'm currently typing, and that takes about 97%
then I'll talk
of my
about
brain
my
cells.
pick for game 2. I think game 2 we gotta give it. I mean, it was my vote for game 1. It's my vote for game 2. I think we gotta give it to Syracuse. I think he played really well. I think he was very accurate what he needed to do. Being the jungler, I think a lot of these calls were likely on his. His calls, his positioning, and aggression, which led to an early game advantage and gave them the potential to pull this victory out for themselves. Good picks, good ganks, good ultimates with the Skarner. Though you can't discount the play from anybody else on the team as well.
I am gonna, because I love being controversial. I love starting shit, and it's a favorite pastime of mine. I would say. I'm gonna give my MVP this game to Zeffy, and the reason why I am giving my MVP to Zeffy, I don't think it's actually troll. I think it is a perfectly good reason to give it to Zeffy. There was a point in this game where Boom looked like they were back in control, and a fight happened in mid lane, and Zeffy just put down ungodly amounts of damage, and you don't see that work earlier in the game because it's not flashy. It isn't anything special, but he did his job. He farmed in lane. He didn't lose hard. He got to that spike, and I think there is just as much merit to that as anything else. So my thing is going to Zeffy Weffy. And yes, to Panda in chat, the next match is going to be streamed. Bear Jr. and I believe Packer Diehard are going to be casting that for y'all. Either on PMALCS or I Want It Was a Good Day.
Was my second pick for MVP. Can someone in chat tell us who won? Okay, so Bofa got 2-0'd by TLC. TLC won 2-0 versus Bofa, it looks like. So I'm just putting this on the sheet. If someone in chat can confirm that for me so I don't put incorrect information down. So far we have only 2 O's in the LCS.
And just a quick update on the other series. TLC taking Bofa the dubs against Bofa in their game. A little earlier tonight. Apologies that we were unable to stream that. A little bit of a miscommunication and just unable to get people on that game in a sort of short notice. But I promise you, your streams will be coming next week. I'll have a little more time to play and get a little better setup going on for next week.
Yeah, sometimes shit happens. Just gotta fucking deal with it, man.
Sometimes Ryan works all day and cries, and then doesn't realize that things have changed because he's just not paying attention.
You know what? That's okay. Do we have our MVP votes completed, or like a decent number of them?
Yeah. I know that we got Squints from game 1. You got Squints from the game 1, and Syracuse, captain of, I'm gonna call them Bread and Butter.
Bread and butter, Syracuse and Squints jumped down into player of the game 1, or jump up into player of the game 1 really quick, so we can do this. We have only a few minutes for this next game to start, so we should end this stream before the next game starts. So we have a little bit of a break. So jump into player game 1, we have a super quick interview. Grant, you may join as well as the captain of the opposing team. I clicked the button, but it didn't click because you jumped in before me, and so I clicked your name instead of the channel.
Click harder! Do I have to mod abuse people? I don't want to have to mod abuse people.
You do Fred, I'll do, oh wait, they're joining? We have a boy, we have a Fred
Oh
boy.
my god, Squints.
Are we gonna get a Granty boy? We'll find out.
Squints.
Okay, quick interview. Ryan, do you have any questions for them?
Yeah, I hate that champion that you played in the second game. Why did you play it? No, I'm memeing. Squints, excellent job today. I was a super fan of your first game, and obviously winning MVP for it. What you've made the switch from support to ADC. I've had the absolute pleasure and honor of supporting you since you've made your switch to ADC. For it seems to be a trend for a lot of us in PMALCS. There are a lot of people switching roles this split. What did you learn from your previous stint as a support that is helping you in your current role? And what, if you could recommend to anybody looking to make the switch, what would you recommend when they take the plunge?
Sure. So my switch came from me being kind of burnt out of the support role, I guess. Especially, I mean, we all been in solo queue games where if you're a bot laner, your other half is inting. So, I just kind of wanted to be the carry for once, and I felt like I could do it. And I'm overall enjoying the switch more often. I guess I'm joining the game more often. Being an ADC main. Um, I guess things that I've learned along the way, bot lane specific, having climbed to plat in support and then making the switch to ADC, I kind of get an understanding of how the lane's supposed to go and how the macro mid late game is supposed to go. Just overall more understanding of what's supposed to be happening when, I guess. Yeah.
I like that. I have all sorts of questions, but I know we're rapid firing through this, so just yell at me when you want me to stop. Cruz, debut as a captain. First of all, congratulations. It is very, very cool to see you in that position and see you in that light. My key to your game was your guys' macro. I mean, you guys were at every objective early. Your vision control was excellent. The champs you played, I think, synergized really, really well. What led you to make the decisions that you made in terms of prep, in terms of how you played out this game? What was that like for you as a first-time captain?
I made sure I picked a brain up for my team because I don't have brain. I play Skarner and Amumu. Like, my fingers can barely operate the correct buttons, so like I had to make sure I pick up brains so I have smart players, and we talked it out and prep things out. But like game prep is just making sure play to our strengths, play to our win con.
Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Obviously,
shout out to one Spoopy Doopy Total Landscaping, who is our coach and did a good chunk of that draft prep and helped guide us through that process.
So, another quick one, because it is fresh in my mind. Amumu got a rework. You got to play that champ in the first game. I thought your Amumu was excellent. It was incredibly clean. You really pushed the limits of that champion, right to the very edge multiple times. And the word for me for your performance in this series was control. You had control of everything going on from start to finish. Those champions exuded control for me. Those fights started on your terms and ended on your terms. Tell me a little bit about how the Amumu rework is going to bring us forward into this next patch, and how that could factor into LCS, because as we all know, LCS is for us is a team fight oriented thing, and Amumu is a team fight oriented champion, in my opinion. So what does that look like going forward?
Well, first off, me tank. I like playing tanks. It's something I came up on, so like it's always fun. Yeah, the Amumu rework's really good. The double bandage toss really keeps him kind of in line. He kind of it's no longer just a one and done. Here I am, hello. Now I wait. Here I am, hello, and now I only have to wait for 3 seconds and then I wait. But that follow up does actually mean a lot. They also changed a couple of different things. With I think his scaling helps him a bit. But he's just he's always been good. He's always just kind of been a weaker version of Sejuani. He's got that big R, and you just kind of go in and do AP damage. But now he has that extra Q toss that he can do that's going to help him out. He just walks around. He like you said, he controls the fight. You kind of get to choose when and how to fight a lot of times, and yeah.
Very, very nice.
Tank is fun.
All right, and then one last question. A little bit of a meme. One last question. I thought your team name was going to be Bread and Butter, man. Why can't we have bread and butter?
We're a dinner roll. I'm confused by the question.
I get very Olive Garden pictures when I see, I don't know, everybody loves the Olive Garden. Anyways, excellent game. Grant.
Breadsticks. We're a dinner roll.
Fair enough. G Baby, are you here? What's up, Jababy? So, first of all, great games. Great games. One of the things that we were sort of talking about the entire game is that second game, the comp really changed, and y'all's mentals, your ability to keep in the game, was impressive. I mean, you guys obviously fell behind a little bit and worked your way back into the game. At one point, you guys were favored, had a gold lead. If we did those odds to win things, you would have swung back in your favor. Tell us what comms are like. Tell us what y'all did to keep with it.
Well, I think the good thing about my team is that we all have really strong mentals, like you said. We were actually still just laughing back in the team chat because Eggy, he's like, yeah, I kind of just inted us by Rise ulting us into a Victor gravity field. And we were all like, yeah, oh well. So that was cool. And I think that's also a sign of like real maturity, because we all can keep a cool head and understand that it gives me hope that we have like room to grow, because we're not going to shut down when things get rough. Because as you saw in the games, we actually have like little, I'll call them like little moments of brilliance, where we executed really early dives, which is one thing that I wanted to do with my teams. We executed a little bit lackluster on the objectives, but now we've learned what we need to kind of work on this week and figure out for our next match against, I believe it is Team Silver Mechanics. So I'm looking forward to growing as a player and as a captain with this squad of guys. They're really great to play with, and yeah.
And one last.
You have a lot you can take away from and learn from that game.
Yeah.
You should be proud of your performance tonight. It was a very solid game from both teams.
One last quickie before I throw it over, and I think you're sort of about to get into this. Next week, what do you do to change your fortunes? What do you do to pick up the dubs next week? Your first glance after this game.
First glance is just we need to work on transmitting a lot of our early leads, because in game one we got ahead on the Ash, which shout out to Guji, he was great. He was fantastic in coming in for us up, because Cheeto Farts cannot play tonight, which is fine. But they got ahead bot lane, and we got like kind of ahead top lane. It was a little bit weird. The Silas kind of caught me a little bit off guard. I was not as prepared for that. But going forward, I think we're going to focus a lot more on transmitting early game pressure into more objective success, because I think that's one thing that just didn't quite click tonight.
All right. Very, very nice, guys. Look, we've got another game to toss it over to. 5 minutes late. I think Bear's going to put it on PMALCS. If you don't see another stream pop up on PMALCS in the next couple minutes, head over to I Wanna Was a Good Day to catch the next game of tonight. Gentlemen, GG's. Great series. Thank you for playing it for us. It was a privilege to cast. I am the Lamonback Fauxpas Nimchimsky, whatever name you know me by. Don't call me that. I'm going into a hole and crying for the week. And for Juicebox, thank you, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday night.